Yeah, welcome to Niger TV. Yes, in this very video I want to show to you guys. Now we are Wiki and Asari dokubo forget major issue because Asari dokubo don't cry command. He say Wiki don't comot food for a hand. Say not be only that one. Wiki carry land for Port Harcourt. Wiki drive and comot for Port Harcourt. See. This very video and a video when he carry a lot, and I will hear many things when Asari dokubo talk concerning him and Wike waiting happen, and the way when Wike they comment Port Harcourt people, even to the extent he constantly carry the same matter, he can't carry enter Abuja. So guys, I will leave them on and watch the video. So now drop a comment section what you think concerning the video. Watch the video.
I don't own any building of any significance in Port Harcourt. When Wiki asked our people that if we don't like, we should leave, and told us in Tar, I decided to evacuate Port Harcourt with the little I have, and I came home to set up buildings. This is not the only building here, there are so many. If we don't start opening up our place, nobody will open it for us. So this place is called Shepherd Camp. I can't describe it. It's my residence. If we're alive and it's finished, maybe we'll come and look at it. At that time, it will be self-descriptive, but now I can describe it. You can go around and look at it. It's just about 30% of total complex, how it will look like, because there's going to be a hall and a mosque attached to the buildings.
How are you able to achieve this fit? How are you able to maintain this camaraderie between you and the community?
Complex, how it will look like, because there's going to be a hall and a mosque attached to the buildings.
How are you able to achieve this fit? How are you able to maintain this camaraderie between you and the community?
Like I said, this is my community. The mother chicken, the hen protects her own. She uses her wings to cover her own, the chicks. And that's what the community provides for me. This is my mother's community, so it provides security for me. There are a lot of mysteries around in communities like this. A lot of mysteries around. You will not be able to understand what these mysteries are. Even as a Muslim, as people of other faiths, it's very difficult to understand these mysteries that surround our existence. And a lot of people take it for granted. But I must advise people not to take it for granted. There are do's and don'ts in every community. Do this, don't do that. As long as you abide by those rules, these things that you cannot really account for naturally will manifest themselves in ways that you cannot explain. So that is why all the places you go to, there are no fences. Even the one with fences, you can see through the fence, because there is more than what the eyes can see here. When wrong people are put in places, they will get disconnected from the people. When wrong people are put in places, they say square peg in square holes, round peg in round holes. So when you go and bring square peg and round hole, that's what causes disconnection. And people, you don't have the ability to discharge the role for which you are aspiring. You don't have the ability, or you want to use that role to oppress the people, like what is happening in Nigeria today, where somebody wakes up and takes other people's land and said they had temporary permission to use the land and come out openly. It's so bizarre. And tell the people that you have given it to somebody else. Is that person not entitled? And funny enough, all the celebrated land you are taking from people in Abuja, this land belongs to Southerners. Face the fear face, elegant face. You don't face the fear face. So you're afraid of the faces of some people, but you can deal with our own people. They mean nothing. So that's what politicians do. That's why they're afraid. When I went to University of Calabar, I became involved in student union politics. I became president of National Union of River State Students. And from there, when I left the university, I came here, and the John Nation provided a platform for me. First, it was the INC, then Motion, then IYC. And I have adequately maximized the use of this platform given to me by the John Nation in telling the world what the job people and other people in this part of the world they call Niger Delta are going through. And for that purpose, God has also blessed me within this period and has given me the opportunity to be here. Even though I had been the most anti-government individual in this region, I had gone to detention over 70 times. I had gone through treason trials. Up to now, there's a treason charge hanging over my head. So, I've not done anything extraordinary. A lot of people are surprised. Why are people still following this guy? Why? The man has been deceiving them. He is using them to make money. Where do I use them to make money? So I cannot do business because I am on the side of my people. There's no government that has come that have not told them the truth. And there's no government that has come
guys,
that has not seen me as an enemy. Even the government that was our own government, Goodluck Jonathan. People within Goodluck Jonathan government saw me as an enemy. Even though Goodluck did not see me as one, but people, his lieutenants, saw me as an enemy and did everything to make sure that no benefit comes to me.
When we say him himself, they put here.
Even this government that I fought for. Now, some people went that I had known Tinubu himself had known me. They went to Tinubu that this man, nobody can control him. So at 60, if I'm in the civil service, would I not have retired? Somebody will still want to control me. So if at 60 somebody is still controlling me, when will I move from a puppet to a puppeteer? When me too, I will have somebody to use as a puppet. I refuse to be used as a puppet. So when people talk, go and do what I'm doing and see whether you survive. There are people who follow the Ken Sarora. Are you still hearing their name? Eh? They are more educated than me. They have everything. Who hears their name? Am I the only person who has been president of IYC? What of the ones that went before me and the ones that came after me? How many people are still hearing their name?
Sell gift card on Andog. We build the best honest tab. Rich card types. What a
So there are certain things that happen. You are not in control of it. Because you are genuine. You state your position very clearly. You don't give a damn about who likes it and who does not like it. When we were campaigning and dying for Tinubu and everybody was abusing him, when the whole world was shouting, we stood our ground. When we went to Abuja to say that they cannot intimidate us, and we stood our ground, people were laughing at us. When you are doing something, do it sincerely. And that's what has kept me alive till today. That's what has kept my name alive till today. And nobody has been able to do anything about it. Because when I say A, I meant A. I'm not talking about B and a shade of A behind it. It's A.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, he's doing it because there's a governor called Simfova. Okay, he's doing all that he's doing because there's a governor called Simfova who does not want any trouble. Who says kuli temper. Who says that my being a governor is not worth anybody dying. Lie. If we can say people will die, you to make sure that people die. If we can say people head will break, you to make sure that people head will break. Don't do that because your followers are there. That's why Wike is doing this thing. It's running. If some of us are governors, by now Wike will not come to Port Harcourt. River State, he will not come. That's the truth of the matter. If you like, let him come with all the federal mind. He will stay in Abuja and do his federal mind. But this River State, but thank God for Fubra. Blessed are the peacemakers. Nobody said them talk. But me, the one I believe is that the kingdom of God suffereth violence, and violence taketh it by force. I don't believe that blessed are the, what did that one say then? Blessed are the peacemakers, they will inherit the kingdom of God. You cannot inherit the kingdom of God when you are alive. Oh. It is when you die that you go and inherit the kingdom of God. Eh? So that one, my own is the kingdom of God suffered violence. And what happened to it? And violence taketh it by force.
Comment on this 27 pro-Wike lawmakers.
They are no longer lawmakers. So don't say 27 lawmakers. Former lawmakers. The constitution is very clear on this issue. They defected. Whether they deny or not, that shows the character of Wike and his people. It shows their character. It shows that they are not people that we should waste our breath on. Why would we waste our breath on people who cannot own up to what they said, what they did, and what they stood for? Why? That shows that they are not people that anybody can even talk about. So I don't bother my head. I stop thinking about them. They are not lawmakers. If they like, they can run from pillar to post. At the end of the day, what I will know is level.
Okay, now, what message of encouragement do you have for Fubara in the face of the hostilities from within that has continued over time?
Fubara should realize that people are following him and are dying on his behalf. And we believe that it's on the right side of history. He should know that we are not ready to go and inherit the kingdom of God very soon. We are not ready to go and inherit the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is not here. Somewhere. After we have died. We are not ready to die now. I'm 60. I want to live. I want to enjoy this house. So those of us, he should know that the mandate given to him by Rivers people is to discharge his duties as governor of Rivers State and to stand firm and protect the life and property of Rivers State.
How do you react to the scrapping of the Niger Delta ministry?
You see, there is a problem in this. That's why it's very difficult for me to talk about Niger Delta. Because when a young man makes sacrifice, everybody comes and says it's Niger Delta. And they grab it. They didn't make any sacrifice.
Failed payment always. Service charges for withdrawing money. Payment information not clear.
We are the people who are dying. We are the people they call all manner of names. I saw one wicked supporter said, if this time we try, if we do anything, soldiers will come. I tell him, you will be the first to die. You that is talking. Because we have seen your face. We will come and get you. Some people were not afraid. So that one, you tell people, soldiers will come and where? Where? The German, they fear that nonsense. Don't go and push people that are sleeping. You go and be pushing them, telling them something. If that is what Wike is telling them, we don't want to go to war. We know that not all Ikore people are with him. Let Wike not use Ikore people as sacrificial lamb. Because I have Ikore blood flowing in my vein. I can have sympathy. But the one from Sagbama, the one from Ogula, the one from Arubo, that does not have any connection. Because this community where we come from is an Elibrada community from Ikore. This Obama is an Elibrada community. And it's one of the principal towns in Calabar. So somebody from here will not want to harm somebody from Elibrada. But what of somebody from Arubo who have no connection whatsoever with the Ikore, and he sees the Ikore man saying that army people will come and kill us. And then army people went to Sema, crossed over to Sema, and shot one Ijoma. And the Ijoma people said, hi, he's on Kimemia. When they say that, they say, Asawana. That's prayer. When they are coming, they will not know that one of their leaders, dokubo Asari, is from Elebrada. They won't know that one because from Arubo, they don't know anywhere called Elebrada. It's an Ikore man that said army people should come and kill our people. They should guide what they say because it's not possible. A lot of people want to see what others have seen before them. They want to see. We heard that the job people did this in Ondo State. We didn't see it. We heard that the job people did this one in Lagos. We didn't see it. We heard that the job people did this one in Edo State. We didn't see it. They did it in Delta. We did not see it. They want to see it. Rivers Ijo have been able to manage. We have been able to manage and live peacefully with our brothers and sisters so that the stories of Edo, Ondo, Delta will not be replicated there. But some people, we were ministers. Rivers Ijo people were ministers. We did not become boisterous, cantankerous, and say all manner of things. Even in this community, in my family, we had Tande who was a minister. We did not bring it here to come and kill people. We did not say, but my people will kill everybody. We call the army. He that dig at a pit. We surely fall inside the pit.
Let's come back home on Rivers State governance. What areas do you think that Governor Mubarak can concentrate?
Governor to concentrate on the economy. Governor, we have seen that even with little we are doing, so much is being made. We should look at the blue economy, the economy of the sea, start to go. Potentials. Yes. It's very easy. Yes, for tourism and other things. The coastal areas, open up the coastal areas. bring tourists, provide security for them. It's cheap. It's not rocket science. It's very cheap. I will lie, I'm telling you. If I had the opportunity, I would go into it and demonstrate. When I was coming home, people were laughing at me. I came to this town. I stayed in my cousin's house. Late chief of staff, he evacuated his matrimonial bed, his room for me. And I stayed in his house. And I feel sad that he's not alive to see what I have done. And today, drive around Obama. You can film. You can see the number of things we have put in place. I came here without anything. I came here when I was being haunted by government. I told myself, I am going to change the narrative. I am going to change the narrative. And I did. And I'm going somewhere else. And I've told the people, I'm going to change the narrative. Go to Cotonou. If you see my building, you'll be shocked. But what does the government of Nigeria give me? I've never been in government. They've never given me multi-billion contracts. See, when you think every one kobo you have, you want to magnify it. You want to multiply it. You want to change it to something else. All that you live for is for multiplication, not by all these crimes being committed. Fubara is going to stay 8 years. In 8 years, let it change the narrative. Let people turn back tomorrow. And he can become president of Nigeria. If somebody like Wike wants to aspire to become president, why will Fubara not have this thing to aspire to become president? Wike, what does Wike know? To go and break people's houses, demolish people's houses, give it to his cronies, or mortar and rods? Government. That is what a government like Ahmed Bola Tinubu government would be. Look at Iran today. The whole world is talking about Iran. Why? Because the government, the leadership of Iran sat down and said, we cannot be perpetually under the threat of Western powers. We are going to create our own. And that's what we want to change. We want to change the narrative. You will see, we will bring money. Kalawari people should be ready. Money is coming. The money that is coming, they've never imagined it. It's not about oil alone. And we'll partner with the government. If the government is ready, we'll bring the money. And we'll abolish poverty in Rivers State to the shame of people like we and others. When the Rivers State governor said, Rivers State can operate without federal allocation. There are several things in Rivers State that grows wild. You don't need to plant them. Plantain, banana, they grow wild. In all this area, you are passing, you see them, they are growing wild. Yes. Palm plants, like palm trees and so on. They grow wild. So we harness this thing. We put them together. First and foremost, we repair and salvage our land by doing proper cleanup. It's not expensive. Don't mind this 419 or going to clean up. It's 419. They're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. And I'm very, very ashamed that Ogoni people are buying into this fraud against their people. And they're sharing the money and they're chopping it. 419. Proper cleanup is what we want. We clean our land, clean our rivers, clean our waterways. And you see,
IYC to the limelight. What have you been doing to settle the boys?
it's not about settlement. There is one Jonathan Lokbobri who we supported to become president, thinking that because he can speak English, we needed somebody who can articulate the issues. And all of a sudden, his brother became Minister for State Petroleum. And his brother said, Wike made him Minister for Minister, so after God, it's Wike to him. And they said, the only way Wike can take control of this place and chase Sobra away is to seize the IYC and the job platform. Yes, INC is already in the hands of, they already have ESCO. So they came here to take the Eastern Zone. So they move election from Opopo, move election everywhere, and finally they failed. And now they are going to do tomorrow, where they want to make the constitution and give the IYC to him as his personal property. So, which we are going to go there? It's not his personal property. Like I said from the beginning, the John Nation is what has made me who I am today. They gave me a platform. And it is this platform that kept me alive. And it just said, Koroipu to Tombo Jiteya, Koroipu. A John Nation is strong. You cannot oppress us. Whatever you have in your mind to turn the John Nation to, you will fail. Tombo Jiteya, you cannot do it. So that's what we have. So the thing is greed. They are wicked foot soldiers. Jonathan Lokbobri is working with Wike to seize the job platform and to use it against the job people. Like what he's trying to take Ohaneze. He's also trying to take Ohaneze by sponsoring a president general When he says he's a Benin man, he's not an Igbo man. Wike is an insatiable man, but we know him. We know him very well. Every Pharaoh God created, he created a Moses for him. The time is coming. Maybe same is not the Pharaoh, same is not the Moses. Maybe a Moses will come. You remember? He appointed tax masters, Pharaoh, from among the Hebrews to chastise them to work. So people, maybe the true Moses has not come to tell me, but somebody will surely come and tell me.
The decision of the appeal court to sack Senator Samuel Anyanwu as PDP National Secretary and reaffirm the emergence of SKE Ude Okoye as the substantive National Secretary of PDP is victory for intra-party democracy and end to political criminality that has audacity. We, the opposition lawmakers, applaud, celebrate, are happy, and we endorse the decision of the appeal court to throw out Senator Samuel Anyanwu as National Secretary of PDP and affirm SKE Ude Okoye as the substantive National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. It offers a new beginning. It offers a new path that will bring sustainable solution to the madness, the political madness, the treacherous political audacity that have been going on in Wadata. We are elected officials of the party, leaders or supposed leaders of opposition, because of either plot of land or political intimidation or alliance or friendship, will be signing documents to sell out and give away opposition states, working with members of ruling government, going to London to have meetings with members and leaders of ruling government to destroy the opposition party, working for another political party while remaining in the opposition party. You can see that level of shamelessness, that level of political blindness and stupidity that has held our party. The party that wants to be the pride of African democracy. A party that ended 16 years of military rule. A party that proud leaders of this country like Ekweme, Solomon Lai, Gameda, Damuchiroma, Babatope, Jinwo, Boda, so on and so forth funded. Samuel Anyanwu brought their Lagos lifestyle into the party and destroyed that political party. So we salute the courage of the justices of the appeal court who have looked at the matter. What is this matter? Samuel Anyanwu as National Secretary contested for governorship. He did the screening as National Secretary. He screened himself. He issued notice for the convention where the 3-man delegate that elected him was appointed. He wrote to INEC for the date of the primary where he emerged. He sent his own name to INEC as the winner of the primary. That he was a judge in his own case. Now the appeal court have looked at it and said, by virtue of Article 47 sub 5 of the PDP Constitution, that talks about resignation for a National Executive Committee member before you run an election. The most important thing here is that the PDP Constitution recognizes that you must resign. Whether you send that letter or not, that is immaterial. Equity sees as done that which ought to have been done. So whether you send it or not, as long as the Constitution made provision that you must send your resignation letter, even if the timeline to send it or when to send it or whatever, the point is that the very moment you decided to run for governorship election and emerge as governorship candidate of the party and your name was submitted to INEC, automatically you are no longer the National Secretary of the party. But he finished all this abracadabra, crowned himself a governorship candidate, misled all of us without people knowing they were not ready for the election. Now, after you lost the election, having worked for the interest of the APC without us knowing you now return back and say you are still the National Secretary of the party. And then you start carrying Wike's handbag when he's going to Port Harcourt. And that's your qualification to come back. And then before you say Jack, they started obtaining injunctions for him in different courts with the Damagu so that they can remain in office. So that they can sabotage the party. At times I wonder whether their children can pick up the phone and call and say, Daddy, what are you doing? Is this how you want me to behave when I grow up? I don't know. Whether their children at times see what their fathers do. So I want to salute the courage of the appeal courts that have ended this madness by first of all upholding the judgment of the Enugu State High Court that recognized the decision of the Southeast PDP leaders that nominated Ude Okoye as the substantive National Secretary of the party to complete the remainder of the term created by the vacancy in the office of National Secretary by the resignation of Samuel Anyanwu as National Secretary when he went to run for governorship. And the appeal court have restated the principle of PDP Constitution in Article 47(5) that any officer elected into the executive committee of the party at any level may resign his or her office by giving 30 days notice in writing to the appropriate executive committee, except in the case of resignation for the purpose of vying for an elective office which shall be effective within the period stipulated in the guideline issued for such elective office by NEC. The most important thing they forgot that the Supreme Court have established is that once this may comes with a duty that you owe, that you're supposed to discharge, it becomes mandatory. So for the fact that the law have said that you should resign, may resign, yes, you can choose not to resign, that means you cannot run the election. But when you choose to resign, when you choose to resign or choose to run the election, then you have chosen to resign. And that is why I was saying that indeed equity C has done that which ought to have in this matter. Samuel Anyanwu as National Secretary contested for governorship. He did the screening as National Secretary. He screened himself. He issued notice for the convention where the 3-man delegate that elected him was appointed. He wrote to INEC for the date of the primary where he emerged. He sent his own name to INEC as the winner of the primary. That he was a judge in his own case. Now the appeal court have looked at it and said, by virtue of Article 47 sub 5 of the PDP Constitution, that talks about resignation of a National Executive Committee member before you run an election. The most important thing here is that the PDP Constitution recognizes that you must resign. Whether you send that letter or not, that is immaterial. Equity sees as done that which ought to have been done. So whether you send it or not, as long as the Constitution made provision that you must send your resignation letter, even if the timeline to send it or when to send it or whatever, the point is that the very moment you decided to run for governorship election and emerge as governorship candidate of the party and your name was submitted to INEC, automatically you are no longer the national secretary of the party. But he finished all this abracadabra, crowned himself a governorship candidate, misled all of us, without people knowing they were not ready for the election. Now, after you lost the election, having worked for the interest of the APC without us knowing, you now return back and say you are still the national secretary of the party. And then you start carrying Wike's handbag when he's going to Port Harcourt. And that's your qualification to come back. And then before you say Jack, they started obtaining injunctions for him in different courts with the Damagu so that they can remain in office. So that they can sabotage the party. At times I wonder whether their children can pick up the phone and call and say, Daddy, what are you doing? Is this how you want me to behave when I grow up? I don't know. Whether their children at times see what their fathers do. So I want to salute the courage of the appeal courts that have ended this madness by first of all upholding the judgment of the Enugu State High Court that recognized the decision of the Southeast PDP leaders that nominated Udoke as the substantive national secretary of the party to complete the remainder of the term created by the vacancy in the office of national secretary by the resignation of Samuel Anyanwu as national secretary when he went to run for governorship. And the appeal court have restated the principle of PDP constitution in Article 47.5 that any officer elected into the executive committee of the party at any level may resign his or her office by giving 30 days notice in writing to the appropriate executive committee, except in the case of resignation for the purpose of vying for an elective office which shall be effective within the period stipulated in the guideline issued for such elective office by NEC. The most important thing they forgot that Supreme Court have established is that once this may comes with a duty that you owe, that you're supposed to discharge, it becomes mandatory. So for the fact that the law have said that you should resign, may resign. Yes, you can choose not to resign. That means you cannot run the election. But when you choose to resign, when you choose to resign or choose to run the election, then you have chosen to resign. And that is why I was saying that indeed equity C has done that which ought to have been done. So it is deemed to have been done and it's self-executory. But you finished the election, came back, and then you say you're still the national secretary of the party. So having stood for the primary election and contested the elective position of the office of governor of Imo State, Anyanwu cannot come back and say he's holding the office of the national secretary of the party. So in fact, he's deemed to have resigned and vacated that position within the party, thereby creating the vacancy in the office of national secretary that necessitated the Southeast Executive Committee to nominate Udoke as the substantive national secretary. But he returned back from the governorship election, ran to Port Harcourt, and told them I can carry your handbag once again, and they said, okay, go and get him an injunction. And then he let him remain as secretary of the party. Is it not NDC that lost the election in Ghana? Kept faith, worked so hard, came back, lost the game, but won 166 legislative seats, and the ruling party was at 167 or 166. And then in the election that has few days ago, NDC won landslide. Didn't Republicans lose? And then they come back and they won. That's how it's all over the world. But we lost. Since we lost, you have seen the character of people who are supposed to be fathers to us, who are supposed to emulate. Is it the character on the things, these stupid things? Is it what we should emulate? That we should do and just hand over to our children? And then the country will be like New York or be like Ghana or be like Dubai? Living like we're in a jungle? Adults? It's so irritating. So I want to salute the decision of the appeal court. As opposition lawmakers, we applaud the judgment. We have given our letter of congratulations to our new national secretary, Honorable Ude Okoye, and the opposition lawmakers are 100%, all of us in the coalition. The coalition lawmakers are 100% with you. We support that decision. The CUPP is happy. The opposition coalition is happy.
Alright guys, you just watched the video and you heard what an Asari dokubo said concerning Wike. So I don't really know much about what they are saying. So if you know more better than me, please can we come to some comment section? Let me see what is really going on with Wike and Asari dokubo. So please, if you've watched this video to this extent, that means you love us, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Niger TV.